Good morning. My salute to Dr. Negi for organizing such a wonderful conference and an entire team of Resonance and my senior colleagues sitting on the desk and including the Mr. Soni and moderator Mr. Rajiv Mathur. We have talked about the subject since the morning, but we'll be just discussing a failure of a crude oil pipeline, catastrophic failure. We had been talking about the gas line since the morning, but definitely crude line also plays a very, very vital and significant role, also running under the ground and supplying crude to landlocked refineries in the country, as the country has nearly half of the refineries located in the landline. This is the case of 8 years old. Since then, the awareness has gone. A catastrophic failure has taken place in 28-inch line API X52 pipeline, 0.281, that is 7.14 mm. On 17 June 2027, I was the then ED operations of Indian Oil Corporation Pipelines, and this pipeline was vital because the country is importing the crude oil, and about 87% of the crude oil we are importing. We are producing only 13%, and this pipeline was meeting the requirement of 3 major landlocked refineries in the country, that is Mathura, Gujarat and Panipat refinery. I have talked about the data of the pipeline. This is a 1800 plus kilometer long pipeline system, and coal tar NML pipeline. It was way back constructed in early 80s, one of the first long distance pipeline after Nahar Katia to Baroni pipeline of Oil India Limited. Suddenly the crude oil leakage started, gushing started in this thing, and incidentally that particular day I was the interview board of the young engineer selection, so normally my phone was little bit silent. Of course 10 minutes later I could be involved in the system, and this was happening that huge amount of the crude oil is going. People are making videos of that, uploading in the media channels, uploading into the Ministry of Petroleum Hotel, and all those things. Problem is started suddenly. Then we thought, what is the wrong in that? And this was the upstream and downstream portion of the pipeline. The fish mouth opening, this was the burst of the pipeline on a crude oil pipeline. Normally in a gas pipeline phenomena, you will see along the seam it gets burst and a longer seam opening is there because the gas is a compressible fluid, whereas the liquid, but once burst takes place, no further elongation doesn't take place, but the affected portion was 840 to 430 mm long, and of course we have taken the steps to restore the pipeline at the earliest, and of course informing to all the regulators, PNGRB, YSD, PESO and everyone, and of course lot of things we are on the receiving end because of the failure of the pipeline, because it has affected the agriculture field. Ultimately we have replaced the section of the pipeline with a new one. Just I wanted to know why just I wanted to share what was done before that. We were prioritizing the rehabilitation of the coating. Means, we are replacing the coal tar NML coating with the polymeric tape coating, and but entire pipeline, I said about 1800 kilometers long, so definitely we will prioritize the section which is to be taken first. This particular pipeline was a piggable pipeline, so inline inspection was carried out about 2 years in advance, and the affected portion where the pipeline failure took place, the loss of metal was 19% only, and the 31G you already know, it's not requires immediate attention on that. CAT survey indicated good coating condition. SIP survey also indicated both on and off PSP within the safe limit. DCVG survey also indicated no coating holidays and the affected spot, and PSP survey indicated both on and off readings within the allowable limits. Internal corrosion probe monitoring we have put on the upstream and downstream stations, and both the readings were less than 1 MPI as per the NACE requirement. I am going into little detail of that. This is ILI, 19% maximum metal loss was the affected spot. Arrow indicates the spot where the pipeline failure has taken place. Next is you see in a pictorial form, that operating pressure was much lesser than the MOP, and fail pressure was much higher than that. So absolutely from operational angle, we are not foreseeing any problem in this particular spot to get failed. Then why pipeline got failed? And This was the CAT survey report. If you the CAT survey report, all the dB loss was within limit. Of course, if you see the surrounding area, there was a little bit higher dB loss compared to the other areas where the coating was there, but was all within 20%, and you know about up to 20% we don't consider it's a bad coating. So it was prioritized, the other stages will be taking first and then will be coming here. SIP survey also indicated the PSP values were within the limit. Arrow indicates the place of failure, and all the readings were almost little close to that. Little bit high PSP was there in the area. IR drop DCVG survey, if you see the IR drop, absolutely no issue on that. So these, none of the indication we are getting that pipeline is likely to fail in such scenario. PSP survey, just prior to that, in the month of March, when it was a June case, in the month of March, PSP survey also indicated, it also indicated of PSP was a little higher than this normal, but it was not going to that much level that we anticipated a sudden catastrophic failure in that. ER probe readings, I said that station upstream of this location and downstream of the location was less than 1 MPI as per the day's requirement. So it was not at all a cause of worry, though we are handling the high sulfur crude also, high TAN crude also, high viscous crude also, but still the problem was not because of that. So no internal corrosion was there, no wall thickness reduction was found, external surface was having some small pittings and maximum 20 to 25%. ILI report indicated 19%. So no immediate concern of the maintenance was there as per 31.4 and 31G also. Then we analyze after the failure what was the problem. A 400 kV 1800 megawatt SR Bachau line, power grid line was laid. Commissioned in the April 2016, 17 was the failure. Transmission line laid across the right-of-way without taking permission. Maybe it was noticed by the line worker and they said that line is not yet charged, or maybe we'll take the permission before charging or something. Line kept charge for 128 days only, just 4 months only. And this catastrophic failure has taken place on 18th June. Burst occurred exactly in the pipeline beneath the transmission line crossing and leading to the spillage of the crude oil. Thickness survey, ILI and PSP data affected pipelines were satisfactory. We have undertaken the affected section lab analysis. Indian Oil itself is equipped with the lab, but in addition to that, we have sent the material to WRI Trichy also, and they indicated that the AC-induced corrosion is the main reason for that. And this is something Singh Saab has already explained the catastrophic failure. But what was the learning? Because Dr. Negi sir has given a mandate. It should be done for the learning also. So here I have captured what are the parameters. All the parameters were not showing any abnormality, but again the catastrophic failure has taken place. Post-learning, we have carried out the comprehensive survey of all the locations where STAC or STDC lines are crossing or running in parallel. Undertaking the simulation study through software model. First time we have carried out the simulation study because the line have a different load and load patterns changes. So we cannot go for a static only area. So adoption of mitigation measures like grounding, and addition to that, initially only Indian Oil and then the Gas Authority of India, GAIL has joined Indian Oil when we approached the Central Electricity Authority. In a first meeting, when I have sent a junior officer to apprise him about the incident, because the PESO has grilled the Indian Oil Corporation for the first time for restoration of this pipeline, I had to personally approach the CCOE that if you kindly allow me, otherwise my 3 of the refineries will go dry. I have no option except to ask them to slow down the processing. We approached the CCA. Initially, they said, no, our tower is 60-meter high. What you talk about pipeline, nothing is going to happen because of us. But the persistent follow-up by industry, led by Indian Oil and GAIL together, then I requested the then chairman of the GAIL, Dr. Karnataka also, to kindly depute a senior person. I will also be participating in that, and we participated. Then, after 4-5 years of persistent follow-up, a draft notification came in 2022, and final notification, as Mr. KB Singh was indicating, 8th June 2023 it came, that 33 kV and above pipeline should be, the footing should not be closer to than 25 meters from the edge of right of way of petroleum pipeline. And the crossing angle should not be acute. It should be not less than 70 degree, preferred is 90 degree. So this was the learning. But still, if you see, compared to the counterpart, my CGD network, as Singh Saab has pointed out, where we both were associated with the failure analysis, T4S of CGD pipeline still indicates that as far as practicable, the ST tower should be 3 meters away from pipeline if it is running parallel, and the distance should be made in such a manner that no effect of either fault current or steady-state current comes to the pipeline. So these regulations may be looked into in the future to revise that. All standard and code you already know. Why Singh Saab has, in the morning session, was asking the training of the people. You can revise the code, you can revise the standard, you can go for a next book or something like that. What about the people going CP reading in the ground once in 15 days or something like that? Do they know the impact of that AC? Whether they will be able to capture with the existing tools and reference electrode and voltmeter or something like that. So these things are required to be educated. Not only the AC is bad for the corrosion, it's also bad, equally bad for the touch voltage. People may get shock of that, and that requires a lot of deliberation in that. Post-incident, as you indicated, but I am happy. Since then, of course, in all the conferences, be it NACE conferences where I was the chair, be it ASME conferences, be it Negi sir's conferences in the morning, we had been hearing about the STAC. So this awareness is being created. Only thing, awareness is not only to level where the direct technician and mechanics are handling the subject. Thank you very much. And you already know what are the systems we are going to follow up: smart test station, remote monitoring, software modeling, adoption of adequate measurement. So these will be the times to come. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thanks.